The blind girl gently moved her brush across the paper. Just a few strokes. But the moment the old patriarch saw the writing, his breath caught in his throat. Because this handwriting. It was identical to the sacred calligraphy he had once seen as a child, the legendary works attributed to a forgotten divine goddess. What he didn't know was this: the girl standing before him was the rebirth of that very goddess. A century ago, she had been an ambitious celestial being who sealed a heavenly dragon within her own soul. Her arrogance angered the heavens. As punishment, her divine sight was taken, and she was reborn as a blind mortal. On the night she was born, the sky twisted with unnatural clouds. A wandering monk delivered a chilling prophecy: this child will either elevate your bloodline or destroy it. Terrified, the family patriarch made a heartless decision. That same night, he banished the newborn and her mother to a remote village, leaving them to fend for themselves. Years passed. Her mother fell ill. She died quietly, without a single family member present. No funeral. No tears. No justice. Now, suddenly, the family wanted the girl back. A grand elder's birthday was approaching, and they needed a legitimate descendant to display their status. Hypocrisy wrapped in silk. The patriarch coldly warned her, "You have 3 days to learn etiquette. One mistake, and you shame us all." The girl lowered her head and agreed. But inside her heart, only one thing burned: revenge. In 3 days, the seal on her body would break. Her sight would return. Her divine power would awaken. And everyone responsible would face the consequences of their choices. The next morning, a renowned scholar was invited to teach her manners. Before he could speak, the girl said calmly, "You are not qualified to instruct me." The room exploded in anger. The patriarch snapped, "He is the greatest scholar in the land. A man who has studied the scriptures of eternal ascension." The teacher opened a worn manuscript. "This text is incomplete," he said proudly. "No one alive can finish it, especially not a blind village girl." The girl reached out. She touched the paper. And smiled. "This manuscript," she said softly, "is missing the final passage." She lifted the brush and wrote. Every stroke flowed like divine will itself. The scholar froze. His hands trembled. Because the words she wrote were exactly the section he had searched for his entire life. The teacher opened a worn manuscript. "This text is incomplete," he said proudly. "No one alive can finish it, especially not a blind village girl." The girl reached out. She touched the paper. And smiled. "This manuscript," she said softly, "is missing the final passage." She lifted the brush and wrote. Every stroke flowed like divine will itself. The scholar froze. His hands trembled. Because the words she wrote were exactly the section he had searched for his entire life. It was perfect. It was divine. It was lost history. He fell to his knees, begging her to grant him the writing. She handed it to him without hesitation. Before leaving, the scholar turned to the patriarch and said one final warning: if you fail to recognize this chance, you will regret it forever. The true divine heir is already under your roof. The family was left shaken. How could a girl blind since birth read ancient scriptures? The others whispered bitterly. She chased away the teacher. She'll disgrace us at the banquet. But the patriarch couldn't shake the fear growing in his heart. Meanwhile, alone in her room, the girl prepared to break the seal. Suddenly, the sky roared. Spiritual energy surged across the heavens. Even powerful cultivators far away felt it and looked toward the horizon in shock. No one in the household realized the truth. The power the entire state was desperately searching for was quietly awakening inside the blind girl just a few steps away.